Thank you, and thank you for staying around. It's been a long day and a long evening, and I really appreciate you being here to hear this. That particular piece, Let Freedom Ring, is significant for several reasons. Number one, it was premiered exactly 12 years ago today at Barack Obama's second inauguration. And number two, it was written by Ryan Nolan. And if you watched the inauguration at all yesterday, you saw Ryan Nolan several times. He is now the director of the President's Own Marine Band, and he was back in the back conducting through all the marches. So this is a piece that is really pretty important. And Ryan wrote about it. He said that he really wanted to focus on land where my fathers died, to remind us that we're standing on the shoulders of giants at all times. So it's a terrific piece, terrific concert opener. I hope you enjoyed it. Our next piece, Deep River, is a tune that a lot of you will probably recognize the tune, but this is a relatively new 3 or 4 year old setting, and it gives us a lot of opportunities for the terrific soloists in this group to perform. So hope you enjoy. Okay, I'm a little nervous now because I'm talking about Scottish history in a room full of people from Dunedin. So I'm going to do the best I can. Our next piece is called Culloden, and Culloden was a big, decisive battle in Scottish history, not to the Scottish advantage. So essentially, here's what happened. In 1746, the Scottish wanted to retake the throne of the British Isle for Bonnie Prince Charlie. And they make their way over to England, and things are going pretty well until they get to Culloden. And when they get to Culloden, there's a big battle. The battle is quick. The Jacobites, the Scottish, lose about 13,000 men. The English lose about 300, and it's over. It's done. And so after that, the English rounded up the Jacobites and shipped them off all over the world and enslaved them. And part of what they did was they went through and they tried to essentially erase them. And a part of the way you do this with the culture is you get rid of their music. So they burned a lot of their music. Julie Giroux, who wrote this piece, was making it as a composer in LA. Those of you my age or older will remember Dallas and the Blue and the Gray and pieces, shows like this. And she was doing really well. And she decided, I don't want to do this anymore. And she moved back to Louisiana and has dedicated the rest of her life to writing for band. And this was her first symphony. And what you're going to hear, what she got interested in, was all the snippets of tunes that had disappeared. She started researching this very heavily, and she'd find maybe 4 bars of something, and maybe 16 bars of a fiddle tune, and 8 little snippets. And by the way, these were just little melodies. They didn't have any sort of harmonization to them. And she decided that she really wanted to try to preserve them as much as possible. So this is it's a 3-movement symphony. We're only playing one. Don't worry, my poor son's back there just groaning when he heard 3-movement symphony. And this is the last one. And the title is Culloden, but this isn't about the battle. Okay, there's no beheading, there's no screaming, there's nothing like this. This is about their music and the tunes and the jigs and the music that they danced to and the music that they lived to. And it was very important to her to try to bring it back, and I think you'll enjoy it. We've got one more for you, but before we do, this is the time when I thank everybody. That's been done 5 times already, and you're ready to go home, so I'm just going to tell you a story. I've been at USF for 16 years, and about 13 years ago, we weren't still sure. My wife and I are from Virginia, and we weren't still sure if this was where we wanted to set down roots or if we wanted to get back to Virginia, which was the plan. The plan was to stay at USF for 3 years. That was 16 years ago. So I was talking to my wife one day, and I said, you know, if we want to go back to Virginia, that's fine. I can teach high school. I absolutely loved teaching high school. And she said, oh, no, you're not. I never saw you. So all of these directors who we've been thanking appropriately all night for the incredible work they do making this happen. I think sometimes we forget about the incredible personal sacrifice of time and energy when they're with your family instead of with their own. And they're doing it because they're the only people on the planet who love your children as much as you do. So if we could please thank the band directors one more time. I'm incredibly fortunate, and I get to do this in several places. I'm going to tell you something that I think you already know, but I want to confirm it. This is a special place with special people and special directors and special interests who are taking care of you because it's not like this all over the place. You have world-class programs here in Pinellas County that make the entire state proud, and it is such a joy to be here and a privilege to be here. You are really fortunate that this sort of support and this sort of building and these sort of things happen. And I think the last people that we really need to thank are the students who, you've heard them squeak and you've heard them squawk and you've heard them complain and you've heard them write. We hear a lot about everything that is wrong with our students. We hear everything wrong with education, wrong with society. The stage all night has been filled with students who are the personification of everything that is right with our society, and right with our education, and right in the world. We have one final piece, and I need to bring up my notes so I remember this correctly. This is called Midnight Fire Alarm. Anybody heard Midnight Fire Alarm? Probably not. It was written 100 years ago, and it was written for piano, and it disappeared. It's fun, and you'll hear why it's Midnight Fire Alarm. It disappeared. And then a fella named John Fulton, who you should know because John Fulton has taught in Pinellas County for 18 years. I got to get this right. He has taught at Gibbs, Boca Ciega, Northeast, East Lake High School, and there's a middle school that I forgot to write down. Kennedy, maybe? John, where are you? Around here somewhere. There, Kennedy. JFK. John taught here for 18 years, all over the place. Retired 6-7 years ago, moved to Alabama, and started composing and started arranging. And he heard this piece played on piano, and he thought, that would be kind of cool if I did it for band. And he wrote it out for band, and it's been published, and it's absolutely terrific, and it's a great concert ender. So John, thank you. John, by the way, is here. He's from Alabama. He's playing a special class. So we're going to finish with this and our special soloist with an instrument that is not normally a solo instrument.